guys, I'm back. I'm your favorite Diamonds upon the Afro Renaissance Queen. Do not forget it, okay? And guess where we at? We are at divorce court. Let's get into it. It's messy in divorce court. Oh, this is a new low. Let's go.
I love my wife,
Okay.
and I would do anything that I could to keep her, but
Aw.
I've thrown in the cards because I'm not who she wants. I can't force
You
a
can't
person.
be that.
I don't want to be that person anymore. You know, the person that I was conniving and would do a whole bunch of other things. You know, the person that I want to be loved by somebody that wants me the way that I am. I wore a mask for many years. You know, this huge drug dealer, whatever it was, I was that person. I'm not that person anymore. You know, this whole, we hear because of, you know, I changed and, you know, this ex-wife thing, it's nonsense. You know, yes, my ex-wife did create some situations in our marriage. I understand that.
Well, can you tell me about a couple of those situations so at least I have some clue what we're dealing with here?
What changed everything with her, we were at a graduation that my ex-wife's son, which I consider my son because I raised him, I married her with 5 kids, with 4 kids, plus mine. Mm-hmm. And so she has this thing about, you know.
She being Mrs. Myers.
Miss Myers, you know what? Those are not your kids. Only one is yours, you know. And so we went to the graduation because at one point in time, she had a very good relationship with the kids. Mm-hmm. But when Vicky, my ex-wife, came after her at the graduation and just kind of expressed to her that, hey, you know what? You know, we've been sleeping together, yada, yada, yada. You know what?
You and your ex-wife have been sleeping together?
Absolutely.
And at your son's graduation, your ex-wife took that moment to go over to your current wife and tell her that you had been sleeping with her. Have I got that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
At the time, Your Honor.
I will get you, Ms. Myers. I do want to hear that event. But Ms. Fonda, go ahead and continue with your story.
My wife and I wasn't really sleeping with each other a lot at that time. And so kind of the deal that I had with my ex was that, hey, you know what? She say, when I need you to knock on my door and be there, you need to be there. One particular night I couldn't be there. And so when we showed up at the graduation and she was there, that was it. She had enough and she blew up and she went after her and she came after me. And so it was just a whole bunch of mess. And at that point she said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with her anymore.
Ms. Myers, why don't you give me your understanding of the situation with his ex-wife?
I mean, his ex-wife just never got over the fact that he left her for me. Yes, I did have a good relationship with her kids. After that particular event at the graduation, I just said, you know what, I'm not going to let a grown woman try and fight me and then expect me to come in and take care of her kids and have her kids in my household. So at that point, I just said I don't want anything to do with her, and that's how I left it.
Was it the ex-wife or was it the absence of the thug life that caused you to love your husband no more?
I mean, it was a combination of things, and I think the final straw for me was his son, his biological son, called me right around Christmas time, crying and saying that Vicky had put him out on the street for something that he had done. And I said, well,
how old was he?
He was probably 8 at the time.
8?
Yes. And so I said, well, I can't come get you right now. You can call his sister. And his sister went and got him. And then when he called me from prison, and I mentioned this small fact that, you know, your ex-wife just put your son out of your house, first thing out of his mouth was, well, what did he do? What did his son do? Not, I can't believe this woman just put my child outside. It's middle of winter, and he's 8 years old. And at that point, I just realized, you know what, he's never gonna let that woman go. That was like the final straw for me. I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I've put up with enough of this.
Because your thought was anything she does is okay with him. He's going to take her side over everybody else. Mr. Fonda, can you respond to that? Because I can see her position with respect to that.
Nonsense, Your Honor. I mean, if you know Vicky, she loved kids. She would never would have put them out. Maybe my son was emotional at that time.